What's up everyone? So today's video I want to show you what we got going on, and we did get it done and you can probably see it right there. We have the lift now installed. So there was a lot of debate amongst myself, and just I got your guys' opinion too on where we should put this thing, and what we ended up doing was putting it in the center bay. And reason being is I actually test fitted my truck over there, which you can see it right now, and it is just inches away from touching. Like, you guys could probably see it. There's probably maybe an inch or two there. And if you go to the front, we maybe have something similar. Like, it's almost touching right here. So you can see it's just ridiculously close. So if I were to put the lift over here, I never would have been able to utilize the truck on the lift, which would have been kind of a downer or disappointment. At the same time, you guys have seen me already working on the truck in this space with probably several feet in the front of it to work. So that was part of the reason why we went with the placement here. We also left enough room here that if it needs be, I could still squeeze a regular vehicle in here. So we still have more than 8 feet here to be able to squeeze a vehicle in between the wall and that lift if we need to. And most importantly is the ceiling. So in the future, I do plan on getting an engineer of some sort to actually reconfigure the roof line, or the ceiling to the roof line, which is way up there. So we have a ton of clearance. You probably can't see it too well from this angle, but if you look this way, you can see just how much clearance we have up there. So at some point, I do want to reconfigure everything, the garage doors and whatnot, so that we can go up high. For now, I just want to be able to get this thing up at least a few feet, which this will do. Probably won't be able to open the garage door while I'm working on this, but hey, at least I can get under it, get that transmission out of this thing, so that we can get the transmission sent off to get rebuilt. So that's the plan. Everything's bolted, it's good. We had enough concrete. Concrete met the specs of the lift and the lift company, so we're good that way. Only thing left to do, the lift is all installed as you can see. I just have to run the electrical. So we did test it, it works, just with some makeshift electrical over to the panel. But I do have to run the electrical across and get that sorted out so that it's all finalized. What else can I tell you? So yeah, the transmission has to come out of this one. And the RAM right now, it's running. I do have a tune from Jay Green. He sent me an updated tune that we have to stick back in there and go do the same thing, check the air fuel ratio, and make sure we're good that way. So we should be almost good on the truck, at least to a certain extent, so we're not leaning out or anything. And then we can move on to the blow-off valve, which I still have in that box, and put the blow-off valve on. That's most of the stuff, guys. I think that's pretty much, I just wanted to update you guys on what's going on, because I missed yesterday's upload just because we were working on this thing. It took a long time, like a really long time. It's not that there's that many components to the lift, but you have to make sure that everything is perfectly plumb. Make sure that it's not tipping one way or the other. You have to plan out your bolts, you have to drill the holes, make sure that this post is lined up and square with that post. It's just a lot of considerations. And of course, once you place it, you place it. So we had to double check a lot of things, make sure it was all good. And this is where it ends up going. So you can see we're pretty much in line with this door, which works out well. And this post ends up being in the dead space. Another consideration I want to tell you guys about is I was debating between putting a 4-post lift in this bay in the future, just so that we could have the Viper there and maybe a Corvette as well. And where we place this allows, I double checked the dimensions of a 4-post lift. It still allows me to put a 4-post lift in this bay so we can store 2 sports cars over there and leave this to work, and then possibly put another vehicle here if needs be. I think what this is going to end up being is going to be the workbench area. I'm going to put a toolbox here, workbench, and maybe some sort of supplies type thing here. And then, like I said, if it comes to desperation, I can still park a car in here if I move some stuff out of the way. But I kind of liking the setup, guys. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below of this setup. I think it's pretty ideal given what we got with this 3-car setup. And then the only other thing I'm going to probably do, which won't really cost much money, but it'll help out a little bit, is get some extensions from here. So I'll push this 90 up to the ceiling and then relocate, obviously, the motor and this up tight to the ceiling. I just need to get a different, either different length of this or an extension to take it the rest of the way up. And of course, you'd have to move the spring to the top too. So that can be done, and then eventually maybe we'll get a roll-up door or something, but either way, for now, I'm just gonna make do with it, and we'll get it done, just, you know, working around the door and whatnot, but I'm not too worried about it. My main thing was being able to get the car off the ground so I can work on it, but I can also, when we go to do the 2.4 Beltec drop, I can also use the truck on this, and I can lift it up without having to jack up the truck, which would be cool too. So this is a 9,000 pound lift, more than enough for anything we'll be tackling, and should be pretty good. But that's pretty much gonna do it for today's video, guys. Like I said, we got the blow-off valve coming up, we got the transmission removal coming, we have the lowering kit. I've been prolonging doing the Beltec kit on the Ram, just because I want to make sure that the supercharger kit's all sorted out, all the bugs are worked out before we tackle another area of the truck. And also, there's some stuff that we'll probably have to play with as far as traction, so I kind of want to see where the traction's at going to the track with stock suspension before we put in another factor and have to start switching shocks and all that fun stuff. But that's where we're at. Let me know in the comments below what you guys want to see. I think we're kind of due for some update videos on some of these different mods, you know, how they're working out. It's been a while since I've done those, since we've just been motoring through all this supercharger stuff. But let me know what you guys want to see. I'm probably gonna throw in some different videos on some updates, like I said, on some of these mods that we've done, and a few other videos as well. But as always, guys, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure you're subscribed with the bell notification turned on so you're notified. And thanks, as always, guys, for watching. See you on the next video.